it is, what it do. Welcome to another episode of T3MU TV. It's your boy Nero, and I got a special guest in the building. Somebody who was a mentor to me, coach. I watched him be a legend around the city. People talk about his name. You feel me? My guy, family. Drew, what up, man?
What's up, champ, man?
What up, bro?
Ain't nothing, man.
Feel me? We took on that league, huh?
Wash League, man. Champs, man. That's what we do.
That's what we doing.
Yes,
So you
sir.
ready for this interview?
Yeah, man. I'm excited, man. Thank you for having me.
You already, bro. You a legend, so you know we got to have you come through.
Hey, I'm ready, man.
I bet.
I'm ready.
My first question gonna be, did you start off playing soccer or basketball?
It's crazy. My family is from Jamaican descent.
Yep. Shout
pops,
out to the Badman them.
You know what I'm saying? My pops, my moms, man, they moved to United States.
Yep.
United States is big for them. So, any islander would move to New York or
Facts.
all those weird places, New York, CT,
Mhm.
LA, but they decided to move to Boston. Most of our family members was in Boston already.
Yep.
So you know how the paperwork system goes. My mom came first. My pops got his papers late. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But
So moms came down first.
so moms came down first, set up shop.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And we was cooking.
Okay.
And then I was born here, Dorchester.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm
Dorchester,
saying?
we rock it, baby.
02124.
Yes, sir.
And my pops was into soccer, man, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really get to the ball thing until later, but soccer was it. You know what I'm saying? We started, my dad started playing at Franklin Field,
Okay.
and that's where I kind of got the vision and the interest of playing soccer, just being around the Jamaican culture, Jamaican community, so it just kind of happened that way.
Okay.
So, yeah, soccer was first, and then basketball just kind of came along the way.
So talk about, because you had success in soccer. It wasn't like you just picked up the sport and said, I'm going to play, and you was playing in neighborhoods. The news actually came to your house.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man.
So was that you being like the number one kid in the state?
It wasn't. It wasn't really like that. Boston at the time, the '94 World Cup was in 94 World Cup was in the United States at the time.
Okay.
And they were doing a lot of things geared around kids playing soccer.
Oh,
and at that same time, my pops was like in a crossroad, whether he wanted to coach us full time or keep coaching the adults, like the older Jamaican gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
And he ended up just stopping coaching the older guys and was like, yo, I'm gonna invest my time into y'all and whoever y'all hang around.
Facts.
I went to a Seventh-day Adventist school at the time. It was Berea Academy, so it had a lot of kids from the Caribbean, Haiti, Barbados, Trinidad, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of easy to kind of get kids to play soccer because their families actually knew the game. So
and that's what you grew up watching.
Yeah, that was it. And we would see each other at like Franklin Field and things of that nature because that's where all the good players will go and play.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he formed a team called the Dorchester Lions.
Okay.
And it was a rough time for us at that time because as good as we were, you know what I'm saying, you had to face a lot of adversity. At that time, Dorchester, just Boston period, nobody really wanted to come down here because of violence or we would it's crazy. We would go to games and teams in Newton be like, these kids from Dorchester.
Yeah, giving you
and
the sour face.
Yeah, man, and we beat them up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And adversity meaning like you wouldn't expect a group of black kids to play soccer from Dorchester. Everybody was playing football.
Yep.
Everybody's playing ball.
Basketball,
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and then soccer at that time in the city was like, yo, we're not wearing short shorts and high socks and look, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's just not what it was, you know? So, for us, it was just a culture thing, like we're going to represent, my pops being Jamaican, my mom's being Jamaican. We're going to represent for y'all.
Yep.
And we just kind of started beasting it, man. Like we was just, it was me, my brother Brandon,
Okay.
My cousin Kareem, Ryan Johnson. He went to the MLS. That's family too. You know what I'm saying? So, at that time we was actually like busting down like
y'all was really
everybody.
Yeah, y'all
you
was
know?
really together. Y'all got that chemistry.
Yeah,
it
man.
Started clicking.
But it was crazy because the suburbs never really came to the hood. Like they would forfeit games. They didn't want to come to the hood.
For real?
Yeah,
so y'all
man.
home games at
our home games was at Franklin Field.
And
I remember every Saturday morning at 10, we would be pumped up for a game just to get a call like, yo, they ain't coming to the city, man. They said it's too dangerous.
That's ridiculous.
You know? And then, you know, we kind of stumbled on, I never want to call it luck. I just want to call it opportunity, right?
Yep.
So you got the AAU system in basketball. You have that same system in soccer. So what we were playing at that time was like town soccer. So it's like, yo,
you was playing. It was Dorchester versus like another town.
Yeah, but it wasn't like high quality kids.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So now it was like, dang, how do you move to go play the competition? Like, you know, like the elites. Excuse me. And we played. It's a crazy story how we came about with playing with the elites. But one of our friends, man, that played on our Lions team, he had came with full gear. It was like Blazers gear. So he was like, yo, where you get all that? You know, we itching to represent and get some gear like that. And he was like, yeah, man, I went to a tryout, you know? And I'm like, tryout? How can we get to that tryout, you know? And it just so happened that, once again, the 94 World Cup, they were televising, you know, kids in the city. And I happened to be one of those kids that played for a team, Boston City, that exposed us to playing other elites, you know?
Okay.
Our team wasn't that good at the time, so we was getting beat, you know what I'm saying? And we woke up like, oh, nah, we need to play with somebody else that, you know, can get us there. Yeah. They had this thing at Franklin Field the first time ever. It was the indoor-outdoor soccer tournament. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's 5-on-5, and we won it. But the whole thing. Coach from BU was there. Okay. So he coaches an AAU team in Braintree called the Blazers. Okay. Same team that homie was on.
Yeah, it's crazy. I seen you post a picture either
of
today.
My guys, 30 years strong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we went through puberty together. Like, it's like we did a lot of things. So we traveled a lot. So
shout out to them Blazers.
Yeah, man. So, you know what I'm saying? And it just so happened that we went to a tryout. Yep. And the coach was like, yo, just bring them down. We need them. Oh. You know? And from there on, we just winning everything. Damn. You know, I think we had a good, well-balanced team that we went regional. We won state like 7 times. Wow. We went to the regional finals, won the regionals once, but we went to the finals like kind of all year round for us. Yeah. And then, you know, we was just in every national tournament. So, you know, we was actually nice.
Yeah, bro. You wasn't nothing to play with on that soccer field.
Nah. There wasn't nothing to play with. But at the time, you know, there are some lessons when we got older. Yeah. You know, like 18, 19, when we got older. Everybody's getting their letters and things of that nature. And I had my letters too. I just, you know, I end up messing that up. But that's, you know, that's a story that we gonna get down later on into the, you know, the convo. But yeah, man, soccer is life for me, you know, and I feel like right now what I'm trying to do is push the movement of, you know, getting kids to enjoy the game like I did. Facts. You know, it's not corny.
It's not.
You know, and it helped me in ball.
Yeah, it do. It really does with your footwork.
Yeah, man.
Just the stamina too. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Man. Like. So did you have a favorite soccer player?
At the time, it was Thierry Henry.
Who's that? Because mine was like Cristiano Ronaldo or Ronaldinho.
See, so at the time, like those guys were, you know, they were the guys. Notch, yeah. Back then, we would talk about Pele. You
Pele
know,
too.
I didn't really. So Pele is like Jordan to soccer.
He is.
But I didn't get to really watch him play. It was like you get to watch little old clips and things of that nature. But Diego Maradona, we actually got to see him play. Okay. And he was like the god at that time. Like
he played in MLS?
Nah, he played He played for Argentina at the time.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, 94 World Cup, like I said again, we watched him play Nigeria at Foxborough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience and just being there and watching like it live. Like this is the World Cup.
This is the World Cup, man.
This is the best of the best.
Where you imagine that's the stage that you want to be on.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget it. My dad took a job because he wanted to watch the World Cup game, so he took a job as a security guard at Foxborough at the time.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know, so talking about sneaking us in, yo, Foxborough, don't get us, man.
Don't get
us, man. Talking about really wanting your kids to kind of experience something.
Yep.
He went to the depths to kind of get us in there every game. So, you know, the way the World Cup set up, you're in a group. Yep. And the two best teams leave that group to get into the knockout stage.
Okay.
And so we got to see everybody within that group, you know, so Argentina, Nigeria, Colombia, and Switzerland, I think.
And
you know?
These are teams that's tough at that. I know Colombia was at least good in
Colombia was good. Argentina was good. Nigeria, for us, that's the first time we got to see an all-black soccer team that looked like us.
Yep.
You know, so we actually met the Nigerian national team at Franklin Park.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? They signed balls, all that stuff. So as a kid growing up, those are the type of experiences that when you watch a game, you like, yo, I'm gonna do what they did on the soccer field. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll watch a game. Next day we got a game. And we just go crazy.
And
we
almost try to do what you saw the day before.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think the realest experience that I've got cultural wise, Jamaica played the United States in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And I think for the United States, that was probably the biggest mistake of their life.
Yeah.
Because that was like Jamaican Central. Yeah. You got Jamaicans from New York. So the whole stadium was packed. We took a whole charter bus there, man.
Oh, you went
from
to that
Boston,
game too?
Yeah, man, from Boston all the way. So this is when Jamaica, this is 98.
Okay.
So Jamaica now is making a push to go to the World Cup. First time that they went to the World Cup at that time.
For real?
Yeah, man.
So it was big.
So it was big for us.
Yeah.
So I remember taking the bus, going, and watching it. Beanie Man was there. I didn't even want to meet Beanie Man. That's how crazy the game. Yo, I was locked in because I was like, yo, I got to be here, whether it's on the United States side or it's on the Jamaican side.
Yeah. Because
at that time, you can have dual citizenship. You know what I'm saying? So I can represent Jamaica if I want to. Facts. Or I can represent
USA.
United States. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I remember when we got back, and yo, I'm telling you, and it's not even when we got back in the game, right? Yeah. So Jamaicans have this, like when you score a goal, it's like, goal. Yeah. You know, you can feel that, dog. You can feel it. It's like, goal. And then, you know, but I'm telling you, that day, everybody a goal, my man Whitmore scored, all you heard was, goal. I'm like, oh,
they
dip.
Done.
You know what I'm saying?
Done up.
I think, me and my cousins and my brother, we took that because the next day we had a game.
Yeah.
We traveled, 18 hours? Not even 18 hours. It's kind of like 12 hours or whatever to get back home. We didn't get back home until I want to say 8-something in the morning or some craziness.
Damn.
Our game was at 10. Oh. But we were so hyped to kind of put on our yellow jerseys and be like, yo. And I remember we were playing my man Junior's team. He went to Cambridge at the time.
Okay.
And lit them up. And every
score?
time we scored, it was like, goal.
Well, how much y'all beat them?
But it was we beat them by 7-1 or something like that.
Yeah,
it was a bad, that was a beatdown. Yeah. But my dad always said, man, have some respect for your opponents.
Yep.
Don't ever try to belittle or, things of that nature. So we never really ran up the score. But yeah, man, that was my youthfulness in soccer, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you, saying in your youth, that was your youthfulness in soccer, was it your dream to become a soccer player, become a famous soccer player, be playing for the World Cup, how you was going to them games?
Yeah, man, that's the goal, man.
You envisioned yourself
that's the goal. At 10 years old, that's when I got the the news had covered me on their show. I was going to the Matterhorn at the time.
Yep.
And they covered me on the bus. They covered me at my house. And I remember people don't in the interview. Yeah. She asked a question to me. She was like, where do you consider yourself with all the rest of the players? And I remember saying, oh, second best, but I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say second best because of my pops. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
like,
yep.
I'm behind him,
Okay.
not behind anybody else that's in my age. You know what I'm saying? So now when I play the clip sometimes, you know, now like, social media, everybody like, nah, you said second best, bro.
Second best, bro.
You know, so
you knew I had to. One.
I'm glad y'all gave me the opportunity to clarify all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's fact. So you had battles with Pops.
I had the way our.
How did he train you?
So, you know, you had to. It's a jungle out there, man. It ain't for the weak, man. And my brother was a good player at one point in time too. Mm-hmm. Shout outs to him.
Shout out to bro.
But we watched our pops a lot. Yep. Like for us, there was two things that you can watch and play. You can watch and play outdoor soccer, and you can watch and play indoor soccer.
Okay.
And I always took it like, okay, those are two different ways of playing soccer, but he's mastered a lot. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I remember going to his games, and then we would go to his indoor games on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
Totally different vibe.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, damn, why they fear this man so much? You know? But he was a bad man.
Yeah.
So for me, my pops was like, indoor soccer, that's Jordan. Like, you know, like I'm watching Jordan. I get to watch Jordan every Sunday night.
Yeah. If
I got school in the morning, I'm making sure I'm there at his game at 11 p.m. Whatever. Mm-hmm. If it's a late game, I'm there. I don't care.
It don't matter.
And I used to watch like when he would go in the locker room and get changed.
Yep.
And I would already like lead the way to get into the to the little arena.
Yeah.
But as soon as like the opposing team sees me or my brother, it's like, oh, geez, Rad's here. You know, my dad's called Radcliffe, so they be like, Rad's here. Oh, my God, Rad. We didn't want to deal with Rad tonight. Yeah. You know? So
he was a handful.
He was a handful, man. He was a problem.
And out there on the outdoor, how was he?
And out there, he's a problem, too. You know what I'm saying? Just a bigger field. And I always see my dad as the creator, the person that offensively was gifted, you know, and he had speed. So it's like he's lightning quick. Yep. Has some real good skills, great instincts. Mm-hmm. And so when we were coming up, that's what we were watching. So training wise, we would just imitate anything that he did. Fact. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we became nice. Okay. And then, you know, once they would be playing their full field or whatever, we're on the sideline just once again, we just mimicking our best players. And this is like hood stuff. Like these are people that are in the community just, all right, well, just playing. Because at that time, there was no MLS. Yep. You know, you didn't really have, the only thing that you can look forward to is
the World Cup.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you take your bits and pieces and things. But for us growing up, our motivation was the people that we saw in front of us.
Fact.
You know? And, we took it and we ran with it, man.
Okay.
You know?
So you went from being a legend in soccer, like you still played, of course. Mm-hmm. But when did you pick up the basketball?
So, crazy story. Basketball. Mm-hmm. 6th grade, I went to the Laurinburg Middle School. Yeah. I'll never forget this. I always tell this story all the time. Yeah. Gym class, you know, teacher was like, "Oh, we're gonna try something different today. We're gonna play soccer." And nobody in the class know how to play soccer, but a couple of Haitians in there and things of that nature.
Yeah, they gonna get.
And I'm like, this is my sport. I'm good now. Mm-hmm. Boom. So everybody's like, oh yeah, we picking you. You seem like you nice. Yeah. And I show off, do my thing. Boom, man. The next following week, we playing basketball. I don't know how to play basketball. Not a lick. Yeah. You know, so I used to get teased for that. Like, homies just be like, yo, you getting picked last. Yeah. You know, so I kind of told myself, like, damn, if I wanted...
You was getting picked last in basketball.
I got picked last. You know what I'm saying? I remember I went to school with Cav Burner. Shout out to Cav.
Okay, shout out Cav.
You know, went to school with Cav, and it was just like, nah, dog, like, that's not my swag. That's not me. You. You know, but you don't like that feeling of not getting picked for something, especially in a public school, because they're going to tease you. They're going to be like, this dude suck. You know what I'm saying?
They turn you off real quick. You suck. Yo. Man, you ain't got it. Like, that's, you got to be tough. You got to have tough skin to be in Boston Public Schools or public schools, period.
I remember, bro, 6th grade year ended, and I was like, yo, I'm watching any basketball tape. I'm outside, I'm outside on a crate in my backyard. Before I even got my hoop in my backyard, I had a crate. Okay. And I would be in there just messing around, just figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? My pops don't know how to play ball. Yeah. So I'm teaching myself. Okay. And I must say, like, when I got back to school, ain't no chumping me. Like, I knew how to do this. I was athletic. I D up. And
this is when you went back in 7th grade.
This is when I went back in 7th grade. I didn't make the team. I didn't even think about trying out for the team. Yeah. So boom, I go. Once again, same gym teacher. Yeah. We know when we gonna play basketball. They ain't pick me. Oh, I have winners. All right. And now you get to see me dismantle some people that was right here. Like, they up top.
They tough.
They was
tough, respected in the class.
Now I'm like, boom. So the why, this is where the why comes in. Okay. We had teen night every Saturday. Okay. Right? And I started to be comfortable enough to say, I'm going to go to the Y. So at the Y, there was like the MBA and the CBA. Okay. So my skills only allowed me to play in the CBA. But once again, just like soccer, I'm a sponge. I watch you. Yeah. So I would just
Who would you watch? Do you remember?
Just a couple of older guys around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like Jermaine McNeil. Okay. Couple of Courtney Eldridge. Okay.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, man. A couple of other guys, man. My man Hook, R.I.P. There's a lot of guys. My man Junior. We used to watch Thomasina play. Just a lot of people that used to play basketball. Yeah. My cousin Mike McGee. He was cold. So he was already on that side. Like, yo, he ain't coming to the CBA. He was already drafted. Like, he was good.
Yeah, you was good.
My cousin Euro. You know what I'm saying? So
shout out to Mike.
Yeah, man. So I didn't really, that ball wasn't my thing at the time, but 7th grade, I was like, yo, I'm at the Y every Saturday. Yep. You ain't gonna stop me from going to the Y.
Talk about that time, like, because, you were always, like, when we was growing up, you would always be like, yo, man, listen, the Y was serious back then. Yo. And, it was like them stories I used to walk home like, bro, I really want to know how the Y was back then. Like, how was it going? Like,
it was crazy, bro. So, how the Y set up, you see how
who was the top dogs
how big the court was. Yep. And so we would go the small side. Okay, yep. So the small side, it was, if you had the CBA, that's the dunkable side. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So we would have fun, like,
dunking,
trying to dunk on people and, and that's where I got my creativity from.
Yeah, just you crafty as
just playing, and then we had Roberts Park right across the street. So it would be a mixture of the Y and
going to Roberts.
But Roberts, the lights used to be on, and the hood dudes used to. I'm trying to tell you, it's like letting you in the club, right? Like, if you get to the store and you cross the street, there's gonna be a whole bunch of hood dudes right there, and it's like, he's with you. Like, if you brought your homie, they'd be like, yo, he's with you. Yeah. All right, you good?
You Gucci? Yep.
Yeah, man. So they never really troubled the ballers.
That's lit.
And but the Y was a time, bro.
I believe it.
And back then, before the Y had the gym, it was an outside space. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't have a gym at the time.
Word?
Yeah. So me, Mike, all of them, we were a part of the first initial Youth Y League. Okay. And that's when I started to understand I'm a BI in this game. Yeah. Because now it's like, oh, Drew's holding his own with people. You know what I'm saying? So, when I got to 8th grade, it was like redemption. Yeah. It was like payback. It's like, yo,
I'm coming for everybody who said I suck.
Because 7th grade, I played. You know what I'm saying? I played.
But you was still getting your feet wet.
Yeah, but I was still nice. Like, but we had Ryan Harrell, nice guard at the time. He was the guy on our team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I kind of looked at Ryan like, yo, I want to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be the guy next to the guy. I want to be the guy.
You want to be that guy.
Yeah. So we had our coach, Mr. Parks, man, and he will always tell me, like, yo, make sure you're working on your defensive slides. Make sure you're working on this. Make sure you're working on that. And I'm like, how do you want me to work on this? Like, I just play. I just want to have fun. And I literally would tell people I only use basketball to stay in shape with soccer. That's it.
Yep.
You know? And so when I was 8th grade year, we was going into, you know, thinking about high schools and things of that nature. I was already in the midst of a soccer war, like as far as high schools go.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was gonna say. Like, I'm surprised you didn't ship out prep or a school. You know what I'm saying? One of them schools that was just gonna give you a full ride.
So I'm gonna tell you. So Charlestown came to our game one time. They were coming for my man James Paul. Okay. His name's Frog.
Yep.
And Frog used to go up there. He used to work out with them, all that stuff. And you know, you would think like Frog's that guy.
Yeah.
You know. And then they came and they was like, yo, who's this kid?
Yeah.
You know, I had great instincts to steal the ball. I had, you know, like if you had me in the press, I was good. Like, you know, and I knew how to make my layups. I rarely turned the ball over. So I had those good qualities to me.
To a guard.
And
coaches like.
Yeah. So, you know, one of the Charlestown players, James Levesque, he came over to me. He was like, yo, man, shout out to my man. He came over to me and he was like, yo, you should consider Charlestown, you know? And my mom at the time was like, yeah, you ain't going to Dorchester. You're not going to the Burke.
Yeah.
Like, Madison, you can go to Madison because of the soccer. Yep. But they saw Charlestown as like a Metco. So they was like, yeah, that's way out in.
Not knowing,
you know, the projects is right across the street, things of that nature. But they looked at it like, yo, if it takes you to get 45 minutes to school, you out of the hood. You out of this mess that we in right now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, but in soccer, my team was really nice. So prep schools, Milton Academy, Rivers, Nobles, who else? Buchanan, Brown, and Nichols. We all had to we visited them. Everybody showed high interest.
Yep.
You know, and I think it came down to Buchanan, Brown, and Nichols, Charlestown, and Milton Academy.
Okay.
And so my mom was like, yo, you're gonna go to Milton Academy for the day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you can go to Charlestown. And so I was like, all right, I'll go to Milton Academy for the day.
Yep.
And the vibe wasn't me. Like, although I know my teammates, things of that nature, it was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just something weird about this.
You didn't get a home vibe right away.
But as soon as I got to Charlestown, it was like, oh, I can vibe with this. This is ill. Like, you know.
This is what it's like. This is where I need to be at.
And the funny thing about it is, as a freshman, when I went, so nobody knew me for soccer.
Yeah. So
that was the coldest thing for me. It was like, damn, I got all these other people that know me for soccer, but nobody knows me for soccer in here. So I think
probably giving you the side eye at tryouts.
So it wasn't even a tryout. It was, yo, he's on the team.
What? They already knew you.
They didn't know me. They just, like, the way the Boston public school system is, it's like, if you're interested in a sport, they automatically, especially soccer at that time, because no popular kid is playing soccer.
Yeah, that's true.
So I remember the basketball players would come out and watch me play, and they saw me, like, sham guard somebody with my feet.
Yeah.
And they was like, nah, he's a force.
He's OD.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember, like, freshman year, I was a captain. You know what I'm saying? Like, the coach had no choice. I knew how to put up the nets, all that stuff. Like, so I was, like, damn near the coach.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think the things that I know for a fact that was missing for me was coaching. Mm-hmm. Like, all my other friends that played with me, as far as AAU, they got good coaching in high school. Mm-hmm. So, but then when I used to link up with them for our practices and stuff like that, you would think that they were far more better than I am. And I'm like, nah, how y'all not better? I'm not even getting the same quality training as y'all.
Yeah.
You know, but then I would come and I'm just talented. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's what Pops instilled in you.
Yeah, man. And you know, at that time, you know, we were just battling. You know, it was just like, damn, this kid's nice. And I ended up freshman year, after soccer season, right after soccer games, I would go right in the gym to play ball.
Okay.
You know, so I'll go play with the team. And I was nervous, like, oh, I'm a freshman.
Because it's Charlestown.
Because it's Charlestown.
Now, before, like, okay, we knew you was big in the soccer thing, but when you went to Charlestown, were they already like a dynasty? Like, were they already good?
They were good. but they weren't Charlestown that you know.
Okay.
They were few pieces missing.
They were missing.
Yeah, there was a few pieces missing.
They never got over the hump.
Nah.
Okay.
And
so no state championships.
Nope. No states.
Is Jack early into his coaching, or he's mid, or he's like?
I want to say he was a few years. He was a few years early, because to be honest with you, when we came, that's when the press came. Before that, he was in like a zone and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So he switched it up when he started with us. Like, we had some athletic talent: Elray Taylor, Corey Boston, Tony, Rashid.
Shout out to all of them.
All of them, you know, dogs, all my brothers, Richard Jones, Kenneth Jackson. Mm-hmm. But I remember when I first came, I was introduced to Roe and Finkley, my man Roe. Like, you know, that's my guy.
Shout out Roe.
And they was like, yo, man, like, just play. Yeah. You know, like,
just play free.
Just play free. Like, don't even try to do all that extra. Like, just play free. Like, they just men. Yeah. You know, that like they the same as you. Yeah. And it got me comfortable, right? And so I remember going into school, bro, and there was this dude. He was like, yo, I'm about to make the team over you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody knows,
remember his name, or you don't want to call him out?
I ain't gonna call him out, man. I ain't gonna do that to him. You know?
Nah, we ain't gonna do that.
But we had our JV trials at the Edison, the Edwards, sorry. Yep. And it's like 50 dudes showing up for JV tryouts, yo. Okay. And varsity always had the home gym. And I remember I made JV. It was me freshman year. And once again, that's the start of the process. You know, a lot of people be like, nah, I feel like I'm supposed to be on varsity. Nah, bro, they got killers over there. Like, you know, they really do what they do. Yeah. And so I stayed on JV for like 2 years. And my first year, I had good numbers, you know, but I played, like I said, I played the game the right way. Mm-hmm. And I was around other people that played the game just like me. Yeah. So me, Elray, Corey, my man Phillip Bell, a couple others, you know,
they didn't make varsity right away.
Not right away, but
so y'all was a core.
So Elray and Corey, they moved up freshman year towards the end around that city run, state title run. Okay. And boom. So Eastie won it that year. They won the states that year.
They won the states. Y'all didn't win it.
Nah, so that's 99.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So 2000 comes around and I'm still on JV, but I'm putting up like crazy numbers. Like, I'm putting up 30 balls on JV. Like, here, like, nah, this is me. And I remember the day that I moved up. It was against Weston. I already had 30 points in the first half in the JV game. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And I got my jersey. And he was like, yo, you ain't playing the next half, yo. We moving you up. Yeah. So and at that time it was a lot that I had to learn at the time.
You had to pick up on a lot, probably.
Yo, yeah. And the crazy thing about it is it's like they trusted me from jump. Mm-hmm. Within the press, all of that.
Would you say that was easy on you, like moving up, like like them trusting you, and like the confidence they had in you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When a coach has confidence in you, you could go skyrocket. You be ready to run through the wall for him.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And I think so I didn't get to play the cities that year, the city championship that year, because I think I was switching my jersey at the time.
And this is your sophomore.
This is my sophomore year.
Coming to the end of your sophomore.
So, but they allowed me to play states. And I remember, like, this is our first title run. Yeah. And we at the Fleet. We would always walk to the Fleet. Okay. We were always, at that time it was called the Fleet, not the Garden.
Not the Garden.
But we would always walk from Charlestown to the Fleet. That was our thing. That was like our thing to the chip. Yep. And I remember Frankie got hurt. Let me rewind that real quick. Let's go a little bit back before that time.
And this is still sophomore year though.
This is still sophomore year. I got in my first game of the state run. Yep. We were playing I want to say Wilmington or some school. Yeah. Out far, and this is the first time I've seen like, yo, like crazy, the crazy. Hype, the hype was crazy
from the regular season.
Painted faces, all that stuff. So, in my mind,
there and they get wild.
yeah.
Bro. Oh my god.
So at sophomore year, I was like kind of like a backup point guard to Tony Chapman.
Okay.
So
shout out to Tony.
I remember Hugh Coleman
Yep.
coming to me and he was like, "Yo."
Hugh was on the team.
Nah, he was big homie.
Okay.
He was alumni. He went to he was at Bowdoin, but he would mentor us like, yo, this is just another game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just play hard, you know? And I'm sitting here like, damn, he was telling me this. All right, cool. So when your name is called, like, yo, Drew, let's go. Yep. Like, you have no choice but to be in sync. So all I used to think, like, yo, no turnovers.
Okay.
You know, like, yo, just don't turn the ball over. I didn't care about scoring at the time. I knew how to score.
Yep.
But I think what happens in every kid's mental in high school is like you have to score to contribute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. They feel like they have to score. It can't be you get a stop on defense.
Nah.
It can't be I'm giving an assist. It can't be like I'm being the general of the team.
Yeah,
like
man.
I'm flowing through the offense. Like,
and so I
gotta be Kobe.
I was as crafty as I needed to be to kind of say, all right, I can rock with these fellas here. Yep. We good. And so, frankly, Finkley, man, we like now we fast forwarding now because we already done tapped everybody's head top. You know what I'm saying to the fleet. Yeah. So we at the fleet, and my man Frankie, he kind of dislocates his arm. You know, this is a starter. Yeah. And my name's called. Like, yo, Drew, come on. You know, like
time to get out there.
Time to get out
there. On the garden floor where Larry put the business.
Yo, man, and we showed out. You know, we showed out. And I think for me, I had to dumb down. Like JV, you that guy. You can do whatever you want. But when you're on varsity, there's certain things that
you gotta simplify your game.
Yo, screens. Yep. Be the passer. Maybe you are the alley-oop guy. You know what I'm saying? On the press, you can't deny me on the press.
Was you at the top?
Nah, I was in the wing, and I got mad steals. Okay. Like, I probably led our team in steals, you know? And so steals steals come with assists. Yeah. So I always used to be like, yo, if I steal the ball and I pass it, I'm in some type of lane
to get,
you know what I'm saying,
to get either a score layup to a team.
Yeah, man. And so at Charlestown, everybody can shoot. Everybody had a good head on each shoulder. But the one thing that I'll always say is that you can spot a Charlestown player right now in life. Yeah. Just by the way that we move. Okay. You know, we don't just. It's not just the ball. You know, it's what like. Chips take hard work, respect of the game, being on time,
grinding,
being able to take criticism, you know what I'm saying? And all of that stuff applies to life. That's how Jack coached. Yeah. Whether you liked it or not, it applies to your life. You know, so for me it was like, dang, all right, we got one chip. Yeah. And one chip turns around and it's like, yo, we ain't satisfied. We got next year too. Yeah. You know, and then next year we just roll around and
y'all wanted that sophomore year.
We wanted my sophomore year. We lost the cities my sophomore year. Okay. Then the next year we won cities and we won state. You know what I'm saying? And then my final year is probably the most memorable year because I went out with my brothers. Like we went out like we went out like men.
Y'all came in together as freshmen on the JV, and then seniors just busting everybody up.
So everybody that year, we had a tough schedule, and we had a nationally ranked tournament under our belt. We had two that we had to play. Yeah, we end up coming out. Slam Dunk to the Beach was our tournament in Delaware that we played. We won. Yep. Pushed us nationally 13th in the nation. Wow. Then we played another tournament in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Okay.
Springfield.
Beat Holy Name and beat another team, and now we're the 11th in the nation. Now LeBron and them are like 7th. They were like seventh in the nation at that time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we looking at it like, damn, we nice because we right here in this pool, top 25. Yeah, right in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then we won the cities that year. We was beating people by like 40, 30. You know what I'm saying? Like it was insane.
It got ugly.
Yeah, it got ugly. It was bad. You know, and we had the city in the headlock for a while. But my contribution will always be, I play defense, man.
And you got out them steals, got to the layups.
Got them steals, man. And
would you say you was shooting back then too, or was it more everything to the cup?
I was to the cup. Everything. But I was one of those guys that was like a playmaker. So I might throw the ball up to myself on some AI stuff. Yeah, we had this thing called the long layup. So if you take your little long 2 steps and you glide in the air, and by the time you get to the backboard, you just kind of lay it up. It used to be like a ill layup back then. That's before tapping. Okay. Because once tapping came, it was like,
no more jelly. We man. Tapping on you.
But yeah, man, those are my brothers, man. And I think what I took from Charlestown applied for the rest of my life when it came to like certain things, man. And I wake up on time. Don't cheat the grind.
Yeah, don't cheat the grind. So,
yeah, man.
So what I want to ask you is, how was it? I mean, you talked about Jack, but how was it for you playing for Jack?
I think playing for Jack was good. Jack was a father figure for a lot of players.
Facts.
For me, it was a little different story. I have both of my parents.
Yep.
So I didn't see Jack I saw Jack as a coach.
You saw him as almost a mentor,
Yeah, once again, I seen him as like, that's my coach. That's my, that's my coach.
That's your coach. Yeah.
Jack didn't know how big my soccer side was. He didn't know it.
Really?
Yeah, when we sat down and we discussed schools, he had some good schools for me. Some D3s. I didn't in a couple of D2s for ball, but he never knew. And I'll give you another story. My senior year.
Yep.
We had a couple of mailboxes, like a big postal mailboxes.
Yep. For the school.
Rashid Al-Khalim was a big name basketball player at the time. Tony was a good basketball player at the time. So they all had their, like, Corey had his, Rashid had his, So in my mind, I was like, damn, I ain't getting nothing, right? And it's so funny because there was a box that nobody looked at. Like, there was a box that nobody looked at. And in that box was all my letters for soccer.
That's crazy.
So I would get all my letters at my house, but at the actual school, it would be a box as big as Rashid's for soccer.
But they didn't.
But my coach didn't know. So when my parents and him sat down and he was telling us, like, yeah, man, Andrew's gonna be good, things of that nature. There's a couple of schools, and my mom was like, I don't know if you know, but he's that big in soccer. Like, we're not talking D3 here. We're talking
D1.
Yes, we're talking like Pac-10s. Like, we're talking, Big East. So, but at that time, and this is for any youngster that's listening to this out there. Listen to your parents, man.
Facts.
At that time, I thought I knew it all, man. I thought I was like grown. I thought that
you was on top of the world, bro.
Yeah, I thought I was, I was talented. So I thought my talent for soccer was gonna it's gonna override everything.
Yeah, I feel you.
And academically, like you have your struggle points. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know how important that is. Like clearinghouse is, or once again, coming from a Caribbean household, we don't know about none of that.
But they don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, man.
All they know is get your good grades and keep going to school.
That's it. So I remember, man, the 2 times that I took the test 3 times, but 2 out of the 3 times that I took that test, we had a state title. We had our state championship game the same day we taking SATs.
I know I know that was messing with you because you like, damn, I'm in.
Yeah, I wanted to get out of there. So what does any kid do when you don't want to be? A, B, C, D. I'm picking D.
Yeah.
D always wins.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm picking B on this one. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really like tapped in, and I messed myself up. And soccer wise, I messed myself up. So I always say, like, there's always 3 sides to a stick.
Yeah.
My cousins, Ryan, he went to Oregon State. I always say this.
Shout out to Ryan.
So Ryan went straight. Kareem, He went straight, but he took a little turn, and he ended up at South Florida.
Okay.
So South Florida.
That's your brother.
Which is Nah, that's Kareem. Kareem's my cousin.
Okay.
And so that's family. Mm-hmm. And they both went D1. Yep. Ryan played in the MLS, so I always say like that's straight. Like he did everything right.
He had to do.
Kareem played on the Trinity national team, so he did things
he
right.
Got it.
He got it.
Eventually.
And so for me, I was in a place where I was in the fork in the road. My parents, we didn't know nothing about prep school at the time.
Yeah.
And then the clearinghouse, everybody who I did want to go to college with, I didn't meet clearinghouse, so they had to figure out the next best thing.
Yeah. And
that kind of took a toll on me. I ended up going to Bunker Hill.
Okay.
And but I didn't play sports. My mom was like, "Nah, you can't do it." I think that might have been the best thing she ever said to me.
Like you didn't play soccer or basketball?
I didn't do nothing, and I played ball like a year and a half out. So I played ball my third semester at college.
Okay.
And once again, these are intricate stories that you would think.
Mm-hmm.
She allowed me to play basketball, so my clock didn't tick for soccer yet because I didn't touch a field.
You didn't okay.
For ball, I played ball one semester, bro. I failed off.
Damn.
Like I literally came and was like, oh, let me figure this out. And I felt like ball at that time, it was like, damn, you got to prove yourself now because you're not in Charlestown stigma now. You with other people that
they don't care about the resume,
and
or they don't just know. Period.
So they hunted me down. They was like, yo, you got to play.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, my mom ain't gonna let me play. You know what I'm saying? But they was like, nah, you got to play. So I remember sneaking playing. Like I ain't tell my mom nothing, things of that nature. And the soccer wise, my cousin had just got drafted. I think he got drafted to Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It kind of hit you.
Yeah, man. So
because you should be there.
Yeah.
So
I left Bunker Hill after I got bad grades, after I failed off the team. I remember a coach looking me dead in my face like, yo, you was our Tom Brady for ball. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you was our Tom Brady. And now you got to watch. And I remember being sick watching those basketball games.
Because you could be
helping them win, and so it made me like, damn, I didn't really take care of business.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to find doing sports another way.
Fact.
Like my dream is always going to be a professional soccer player, but I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
So I end up going to work. I'm like, yo, let me go in the workforce. I started playing with a few teams around the city. And then I got selected to be on the Massachusetts state select team. So they play other people from the state. College coaches will come. And I remember like when you are that good in a sport, that one time that you mess up, ain't nobody calling your phone for you or nothing. Like that. So when
you realize like it's real.
That's when you realize. So I'm over here like, dang, nobody's looking for me. Nobody's checking for me. No coaches looking for me. No. Like I probably only had Southern Connecticut and Bridgeport, but that was like a few conversations.
Yeah.
And at that time too, my housing situation was all messed up with my family. So, it was just a lot of things going on. So I remember, man, it was like a whole experience for me, bro. Like a whole, like, yo, you ain't the man.
Yeah.
Like you over here washing tables at Boston Renaissance.
Oh,
and then I end up my brother actually hooked me up at a job because I just felt like belittled. I was like, nah, I can't. This couldn't be.
It was a bad time.
Yeah, man. So he hooked me up with a job at the John Hancock building, and I started to see like dudes that had their stuff together. You know what I'm saying? In positions. And I was like I was in the accounting room.
Yeah.
And so you would have to take papers up, run numbers, things of that nature. And I was like, yo, hold up. They playing golf with their headsets on, looking out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like what type of,
what they doing
over there? What they doing? And I remember the head assistant accountant position came up and he was like, yo, you should go for this. I ain't had no degree, no nothing. So I was like scared to go for it because I ain't had no degree.
Facts.
So I I end up playing us. We were getting ready for a state tournament, and I end up what happened? I end up going to Salem State, playing a game at Salem State. So I didn't have a car at the time, so I took the commuter rail and I walked from the commuter rail all the way to Salem State soccer field. Yeah. As I did that or whatever, the coach of Salem State was the coach of East Boston. Okay. That when I was going to school, he was the head coach of East Boston at the time. So I'll tell you a little story. Head coach of East Boston. Charlestown versus East Boston. Yep. Soccer. Okay. They were probably the number 1 or number 2 team at that time. And I remember I played what do you call it when I played I forget what you call that word. It's not hooky or nothing like that. From school. Nah. I remember I kind of fooled him a little bit because I acted like I was hurt. Yeah. So we played the game or whatever the case may be, and I just acted like I was hurt. We was already like, it was like 4. Nah, they was up. They were beating us bad, like 4-0. So I played possum. Yeah. That's what I played. Oh, okay. So boom, I subbed myself in, and he already had took out all his best players. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I scored 1 goal. He's like, nah, I'm not. We're going to beat them. Yeah. You know, so I'm not putting in my best players. I score another. He's like, nah.
It's not happening. He's still not budging.
I score another. So now I have a hat trick. And now the game is 4-3. So he puts in just a defender. Yeah. I go by him. I score another.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? And so abuse. Now he's like, nah. He goes and puts in his midfielders and something like that. And I remember I would take the ball to the corner flag to waste some time. Yeah. And it just so happened that one of our midfielders played a ball over, and the good defender messed up. He like tripped. And I'm like, this is it? This is how you want to do it?
It's over.
Pounced on that ball, and the keeper came out. And I made a pass. And my homie from Honduras, my man Wayne.
Shout out Wayne.
He scores the goal. Yes, that was the winner. Yo, that was the only loss by their record that year. Damn. They were the best. They were one of the best teams in the city. You know what I'm saying?
You ruined their season.
Yeah, man. So when I got to Salem that year, when I got to Salem to go play that little exhibition scrimmage, he was like, yo, man. His name's Tori. Yep. Shout out to Tori.
Shout out Tori.
He was like, I've been looking for you. Just like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, you've been looking for me? He's like, what are you doing, man? I was like, man, I'm just working. Yep. And he's like, how about you come here? I'm like, come to Salem? I'm not coming to Salem. Yeah. Then I kind of thought about it. I was like, yo, dog just offered me a position, and I can't even take it because I ain't got no degree. Fact. And at that time, I was in a crossroad of like, all right, do I take this? And at that time, like you said, like, you know, like coaches will soup you up. Yeah. You know, so I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not listening to this, dog. Like the last few coaches said that they would come check for me. They ain't check for me. I ain't. Yeah. I'm not listening to this dude. Fact. And so he was like, where you working at, man? I'm like, John Hancock building, man. You can check me up there, man. Here's my number. Yep. Call me. And lo and behold, bro, he showed up on my lunch break. Yep. Somebody called me on the phone upstairs, like, yo, you got a person down here. Boom, bam. He brought the application and everything. Damn. I signed it. And at the time, I was living in Braintree. So I signed it. I signed it in November. So I didn't even get a decision. I didn't even know that I was in school until July. Damn. So preseason is in August. Yeah. So like the end of August. That's around carnival time. Yeah. And carnival will be lit. Yeah, man. And he was like, "Yo, you gotta come here now. Yeah. You in." So I was like, "Nah, man, I ain't in until I see the paper that says congratulations, you go to Salem State." Boom, man. And so I remember coming home one day from work. And I just seen a stack of letters, and I'm like, oh, looking through it, Bill. Oh, Salem. Let me see what they got to say. Boom. Congratulations. You've been accepted into Salem State. And I'm like, oh, this is real. So in my mind, it's like, damn, crossroad. Do you stop everything that you're doing financially, that's helping you financially, and just pursue this college joint? Yeah. So I'm like, yo, should I do it? And I end up going to Salem.
Yeah. You end up getting your degree there, right?
I end up getting my degree.
Yeah. Now you good.
Smooth?
Nah, you Gucci.
Oh. So I end up going to Salem. But once again, situations in Boston. Yeah. My man Elray died. Okay. So he died on August 26th. Okay. That's the time I was supposed to report to training camp for soccer. And I decided I told my mom, I'm like, I ain't going. Yeah. You know, like, I'm good. Like, this one hit me. So I was like, nah, I ain't going.
Boy, you spent 4 years
That's
high
my
school,
dog, man.
Which I win 3 state titles.
Yeah, man. And that's homie. Like, it hurt me because I was at work when I got the call. And, you know, like, when you start getting random texts and calls, like from people that don't never call you, like something's up. Yeah. And me and Elray talked every morning at 8, every morning at 9, every morning at 10. You know what I'm saying? So now I was like, hold up, dog didn't call me yet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you know, gun violence, man. Like a hater killed him. You know, and I remember it was like 2 weeks into preseason, I ain't show up not once. You know, and I told my mom, I'm not going.
Not going.
So I came back from work one day and my bags is packed. Yeah. You know, and my mom was like, look, I'm going to challenge you. You know, she was like, yo, there's a lot of people that felt like you ain't going to get a degree. You know, so, and she was like, I also felt like that at one point. Like, you ain't going to get a degree. You're going to be a gas station attendant.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm like, Ma, come on. Yeah. You know, and her and my dad, man, like they drove me all the way to Salem, dropped me off. And the time that they dropped me off, Salem had a game that day. They had a scrimmage. Yeah. And I remember him saying like, yo, bring your stuff.
You could still play.
Yeah. Yep. He was like, bring your stuff, man. And I kept saying to him, I was like, that's not fair. They you know.
They worked hard.
They worked hard to get to where they at.
Yeah.
Boom. We show up to Clark University, man. And he was like, I got off the bus. I brought my stuff, but I left it on the bus. Yeah. And he was like, what are you doing, man? What do you need to make this happen? Yeah. And so I was introduced to the AT where you get your ankles taped and stuff like that. Yeah. So he was like, just go get your ankles taped and come back. And I remember these white kids, they were like, man, we're gonna kick their behind. You know what I'm saying? Like
they thought it was sweet.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm suiting up.
That hit you.
That hit me, and
I put you in mode.
Yeah, man. So I suited up, and then I'm not expected to start. I'm sitting here like, man, I'm gonna come off the bench.
Surprise, dude.
He starts me. He's like, nah, I need the team to know.
Was the team feeling sourdough, or was they on some like, yo, he's nice, like let's just give it up?
So when I got there, there was a lot of speculation, like, yo,
is he really that guy?
We talked about a Jamaican kid. They said he was okay, but you know, and so dudes was looking at me like, this dude probably sucks, you know. And then I end up scoring 2 goals, 2 assists. And everybody was like, oh, my God, man, we're definitely winning a championship now. Yeah. Like, we're definitely doing this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that year, once again, captain as a freshman. Captain as a freshman, man. Tough. And we did well. I was rookie of the year that year. And then, once again, we lost in the finals. I lost in the finals 3 years until my last year.
And then you won it.
And then I won the conference. We won the conference title. Then we went
You had to earn that one.
Yeah, man. But I'll tell you, the process
was good.
You can't escape the process,
Not
bro.
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
I had a professor who changed my whole being of like a mentality. You know, Kobe talk about the Mamba mentality and things of that nature. Changed my whole outlook. He was like, yo, I took sports psychology. So he was like, yo, I'm going to use you as the guinea pig. Here's what I need you to do. Take a journal, write down how you prepare for your games. And I used to be like, man, I used to throw on some Jeezy and get my ankles taped. But I also used to be the last person to come to practice. Okay. I also used to be the guy that showed up like some star and you know, like where's Andrew?
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, how do you think your team is gonna move? Just cause y'all winning, you gotta, if you the leader, you gotta show up on time. Or you gotta show up ahead of time. So I started to like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna show up 2 hours early for games. I'm gonna show up 2 hours early for practice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I started to see the change in our team. Like, yo, people are trying to beat me there to get in, you know, get things done. So I'm like, yo, all right.
You started building that chemistry.
Yeah, man.
It was like, okay, I gotta beat him here. But then it comes into play with the games.
Yeah, man.
You just want to go so
hard. And he taught me a lot. He was like, yo, cut the rap out. He was like, yo, listen to this classical.
What was the classical you was listening to?
He just said, yo,
he told you to turn off the Jeezy?
Yo, he told me to turn off the Jeezy, yo. And to be honest with you, rap music makes us hype.
Yeah, it do.
We get so hype that sometimes we too hype.
Yeah.
To a point where we start out bad.
Yeah.
You know, like
I was something to smooth you down.
Yeah, I remember coming into games, it takes me 20 minutes to calm down and be Drew.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So that classical music, I used to be like,
so what was you listening to?
Just some classical. You know, I didn't have a preference. You know, at that time, you can just type in classical and it pops into your joint.
Fact.
And it was all types. And then he was like, yo, just try these sounds. He was like, yo, try rain music, try thunder. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And so I got equipped to that. And so senior year, man, I was ready. You know, I was like a monster.
All the years of learning, it added up to
that one senior. Yeah. And we had an assistant coach. His name was Soren, man. Shout out to Soren. Soren. He's the one that kind of made me feel like I did have a shot at making it to the MLS or just going pro. So he set up some things in Romania. You know, I ended up going to some things in Portugal at one point in time. Didn't really work out, but at least I can say I got there. Then I landed.
So you tried out to play pro. I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah, definitely.
So Jamaica never called?
Nah, man. Nah.
Jamaica, Wagwan, dog. Nah, yo, them should I give you a call, dog?
Yeah, should I give me a call? Yes. But yeah, man, they should have gave me a call.
Facts. So I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions before we get out of here.
Yeah.
With the high school, who was the toughest team you played at Charlestown? And who was your rival? Who was your toughest team and who was your rival?
Rival was Eastie.
Yes. And who was there at the time?
Will Blaylock.
Shout out to Will Blaylock.
David Palacio.
Okay.
Willie and Cedric Phillips. My man Cooley Linton.
Yeah.
Them guys, man.
They pushed y'all.
I mean, they pushed us the first game. They was getting taxed. You know.
Yeah.
They was also getting taxed, but definitely a rivalry. You know what I'm saying? The toughest team, all of our toughest teams was outside of Massachusetts. Like team in Delaware, man, they won 10 straight state titles, dog. They were like 6'11", 6'9", 6'7". Guard was 6'4".
Like,
you know,
getting crazy, huh?
And we won.
All right.
Know, yeah, man.
Nah, that's what's up. So before we get out of here, I do want, because you got, after the basketball and all that, you do a lot of stuff, especially in the summertime. You and your peoples is real busy. You got Crew Love, and then you got B4L is what? That's a
brotherhood. That's
like
me.
What we got with the T3MU.
Yep.
So that's the brotherhood, but the Crew Love is the talk about the Crew Love and how that came about.
So once again, Crew Love started with a bunch of shit talking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a couple of brothers that formed a clothing line, MMC.
Yeah.
And which just had their 10-year anniversary.
Shout out to MMC. They
Black
really
owned.
be out here, man.
Yeah, man. We came together to create Crew Love, and Crew Love started as just crews battling in basketball.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, T3MU would have been, you know, like their crew.
We trying to be there next summer, hopefully.
Yeah, man. And so just shining the light on just the crews. And then it turned into like, all right, how do we be more of a force as far as with a purpose? So we started to say like crews and small businesses, so we can shine the light on who's doing what in the city. And then we've been at it for like it's
been
about
at it for some time.
It's not 9 years we've been at it, right? And then we added Roxbury versus Dorchester to the whole umbrella of things,
which is a big
just
event.
to kind of get the communities together.
Yep.
But Crew Love itself, it's nothing but love, man.
Yep.
Nothing but love, and we just trying to show love in all aspects of Boston, because we're a city that people love to say, like, yo, it's too much hate in Boston, or whatever the case may be. So we try to flip it and say, yo, we just trying to show love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for us, it's trying to tackle certain issues within the community through sports and basketball.
Which is the right way.
Every year we try to do something different. 1 year we did a sneaker drive. Another year we did a clothing drive. Another year we gave out toiletries to the homeless.
Shout out to y'all, for real.
Yeah, man. So, but then, Roxbury versus Dorchester became more of like, yo, we got to unite the city somehow, and I think we do a good job of doing that.
Facts, y'all definitely do. Shout out to y'all, man.
And, the team works really hard, man. We try to really represent the right way.
Yep.
And everything's kind of moving, in the right direction. Shout out to C's, Fat Boy.
Yep.
Phil, Gene, Greg, Keith, Phil, Little Phil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we all go hard. Big Dave. We all go hard and try to really do it for the community. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, there's a lot of bad things that people talk about Boston as far as violence and things of that nature. But we the ones who live here. Yeah. And we the ones who do good work. You know, and some people don't really understand what it takes to do this, man. But we done ran Crew Love without police. We done ran Crew Love without certain things, and no violence is happening, no nothing. Everybody just come out.
Love.
It's just love, man.
I've been there before, and I had a great time all the times I came up there. Yeah, great basketball. Everybody is just, you know how it is in the city. City's small, so when everybody come together, it's like a love thing. So it's good, man. I'm glad y'all definitely doing that.
So, I think Crew Love itself is going to be here to stay.
Yep. Facts. We hope it stays,
yeah, man.
We hope it's like a 75-year anniversary and all that.
That's what we want, right? And I think right now we actually getting to a point where we're giving people their flowers while they're here.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We're not waiting for nobody to pass away or nothing like that. It's like, yo, man, we gonna represent. There's some legends out here in the streets that ain't getting nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not a recognition, no nothing, but they do everything out of love.
Facts.
So just to kind of create that environment where they can be seen and understand, like, yo, it is bigger than us. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all see me, we've been at the Dorchester Y battling and things of that nature, and at the same time, I'm only a mentor from my mistakes.
Facts.
So now it's almost like the things that I didn't know back then, now I know, so I can guide somebody else. So that's, for me, I work at the Tobin. Yep. But I had I had Trey,
had all of us.
Everybody. We had BNBL teams. That was nice. I don't think people understand they can't take a lot of things away from us on our side of town.
They can't.
It's like, we done been to the Final Four of BNBL.
Yes, we have.
I think we got cheated.
We definitely
got cheated.
Come on, man.
But at the same time, like I tell Chuck all the time, I don't think people wanted to see that team.
I'm telling you, that would have been hyped up.
Yeah, man.
Because Mission ended up making it, so it would have been a Dorchester and Roxbury
thing. Yeah, man. We was ready.
We would have been lost.
Shout out to CJ. Shout out to David.
Yeah, shout out
Amani
to CJ.
Santos.
You feel me, Amani? Yeah, bro.
We had a real good team.
Yeah, when you brought him on, it changed the squad.
Definitely. Then, once again, and then the youngins, Trey,
Dimitri,
Marvin, Fish.
Shout out Fish,
bro.
Yep.
Like,
he really helped
big homie, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So
y'all really showed us the way. Like, with you put me on with the Junior Celtics thing. Like, I never thought I would like to coach or nothing like that, but it was a different experience, and I appreciate you for showing me.
Yeah, man. So I think as we are getting older, I think all we can do is create chapters of positivity that other kids can be like, oh, build shoot, off of. T3MU guys, man, they show me the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we look at Crew Love. It's like we ain't trying to belittle anybody. We just trying to show you, like,
give you motivation.
Hey, if there's a kid that want to do a tournament, man, we'll show you the way, bro.
Facts.
Like, we're not trying to say hide our secrets or things of that. That's we trying to give game, man. Yeah. So yeah, man.
That's a fact. And like, one more question I got, maybe two. Did you? I would say, like, I want to ask you, like, how did it feel not going D1, knowing that your talent in soccer was D1? Because you clearly
never hurt.
Never hurt.
Never hurt, and I don't have any regrets.
Really?
That's a system that is some people are ready for.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, to be completely honest, as a 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid, I probably wasn't ready for that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have been lost in the sauce. Fact. And God had other plans for me. And I'm able to say, I got a couple of people in my circle that made it to play top soccer and things of that nature. Yep. And I can say, damn, I know I could be there now because they there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't lose sleep. And anybody that knows me knows that I don't care about divisions. You can still make it if you a D3 player, D2. It don't really matter about none of those.
It's all about your work ethic.
Yeah, work ethic, man, and keep it going. And you break your own records, man.
Fact.
You are the only competition that you got out here.
That's a fact.
So at the same time, when you out here and you are at D3, don't belittle D3, man. Make it yours. Create history, man.
Make it yours.
If they say in ball, like, yo, it's impossible to score 3,000. Man, score 3,000.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Score 3,000.
Score 3,000.
Show them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how. If they told you can't make 300 goals in a season or 100, 100 goals in a season, show them.
Show them.
And that's the mentality that I got. I got no choice but to tell y'all.
That's a fact.
We can do the impossible. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think it's impossible, but it could be done.
It's
gonna
happen.
I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I mean, I don't think every youngster out there do not have any regrets, man. Like, hey, your time is your time, your place is your place, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just know. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, so.
Shout out my youngins, Izzy, friggin' Hector, friggin' Little Chris.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? My guys,
they
the new y'all, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because, my man Yusuf, they grinding, bro.
Oh, yeah, Yusuf that go to Tech?
Yeah,
okay,
man.
Yeah, he's tough.
You know what I'm saying? So they grinding, and we call them, our situation is the craft gods, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Team Crafty. So,
word.
Keep
man. Giving back to the kids in the city,
You already know, my boy.
So, yeah, before we get out, I definitely want to let the people know that your jersey's definitely retired in Charlestown, right?
Both of them.
Okay. Both for the soccer and the
Yeah.
Okay, and they up there.
Well, the soccer one's inside a case, and then the basketball one's up in the gym.
Okay.
We looking for that Salem one right now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We gonna Hall of Fame is coming. Salem, get to it, man. I need mine.
So appreciate you for coming through, Drew.
I already know,
You know what I'm saying? For
That's
showing
champ,
up,
man.
You know what I'm saying?
You know.
OG had to come through.
Yeah,
Make sure y'all like and hit that subscribe button, man. Show us some love. T3MU TV out.